this year so far. That's the Chiefs and Bears game. I know you're facing the Chiefs, and I know that they're significantly better, and it was the fucking Taylor Swift game. We don't even touch about that.
We will.
But the Bears, dude. The Bears just doing Bears things. And this is honestly getting sad for me. I'm not a Bears hater. I know that you guys see me as a Packers, Lions, Cardinals, Chiefs, Steelers, Patriots, Dolphins, Jets, Bills fan. But I'm not a Bears hater.
A Bills fan? No.
The Bears, like, I think this conversation is now beginning to be said. Justin Fields just sucks. He's just a Daniel Jones. He can't read a defense, and their defense is horrible. Matt Eberflus is not the answer at head coach. And all this shit talk that they said during the offseason, this is what you deserve.
Yeah.
At this point. And then for the Chiefs, Chiefs just do Chiefs things. They diced up their defense, and Travis Kelce had his day, but Bears, man, like, where are the Bears fans right now? They're down in the dumps. They're in their lonesome. They're dwelling in their mom's basement right now, and they're just not having a good season so far.
Yeah, and it's like my brother lives in Chicago, and he's like he said the Chicago media is very soft on the teams, and they almost try, and the radio is basically hopium, where New England radio, which is where we are right now, is very like down. It's very, why aren't the Red Sox better? Why aren't the Red Sox doing this? The Celtics, they're posers. The Bruins, absolute chokers. The Patriots, they're really hard on the teams because there's an expectation there. With Chicago teams, since Michael Jordan left, there's not really an expectation except for maybe the Blackhawks to be good. Which, congrats, your hockey team was perennially good for a while. Now you're in a rebuild. But the Bears are an absolute disaster top to bottom. When I rewatched that Bucs game, I was like, there are miscommunications on offense. It's not just Justin Fields. It is guys running the same routes. It is bad play calling from the offensive coordinator. Let's call a screen 3 plays in a row. So I'm like, not only is Justin Fields set up to fail, but he's also bad because you're also still missing wide open receivers. You go into a press conference and you're like, I have coaches saying a lot of things in my ears, and it's just hard for me to sit in the pocket. And in the game, I'm like thinking about a lot of that stuff. I'm like, you mean processing information and then doing it on the field, which is the number one reason why the quarterback position is hard? It's the number one reason why you have someone like Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, who can step in, take in all that information, process it. Boom. You need to have a supercomputer in your head to be an NFL quarterback. And it's like, it's not for everyone because that position is hard to play. You have quarterbacks and coaches in your ear telling you a lot of different things, but you have to be able to process that information and not be in your head, which clearly you are. And you just look at Justin Fields and it looks like he's overthinking everything. He's missing routes, and then he's a running quarterback, so you still have that risk for injury there, but it's definitely a Daniel Jones in his first few years situation before he had that magical 219 average in his 4th year. Congrats, Daniel Jones. You couldn't even throw more touchdowns than Russell Wilson. And then you have Justin Fields in the exact same situation going on the road after their defensive coordinator gets raided by the FBI. That's where we're at with this team. So you not only do you have coaches in this organization getting investigated by the federal government, you have your head coach who's a defensive guy, doesn't seem like he can coach a defense after you spent a ton of money trying to make that defense good this year. And then you have Cole Kmet looking around like, why did I sign this contract? I am a 6'6", 240 pound tight end running over fools. And then I just look around me, the pieces aren't there. DJ Moore is like, I'm open. And then Chase Claypool, what a disaster of a personality to add. The guy who claimed he was a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL. They're like, okay, maybe we go out there and get a top 3 wide receiver. Well, he's not. You got duped. And then we have to go through all of this with the Bears and the Chiefs. Like, yeah, they did their thing. They erupted on offense. We expect this from the Chiefs. We expect them to do this against bad teams. And their defense is good. Arrowhead's tough, but 10 points? Really? 10 points. When you have a dual threat quarterback, when you have more weapons than Mac Jones, you have comparable weapons to someone like Zach Wilson. When you add in Cole Kmet, DJ Moore on that team, it's like, oh, CJ Stroud looks like the first good Ohio quarterback, not Justin Fields. Thought it could be Justin Fields, but you've lost 15 straight games at this point after you said you were tired of losing. Okay, you don't look that tired of losing. And you went out there and you're like, okay, I can't compute information, so I'm going to go out there and play how I know how to play. Well, that play style just sucks. Like, I get you're set up to fail. I get it's part of the coaches, but at the same time, you still have to hit open receivers. You still have to be able to process information.
You still got to know how to throw the football, too.
Yeah.
2 open guys, and you don't. And so the Bears are a dumpster fire that has officially been hit with a nuclear bomb, and this season's already over for them. This Bears team that they were like, oh, we're going to compete with the Lions. We're going to compete with the Vikings. We're going to compete with the Packers in this division. We're going to take this division for the first time in like a decade since they've done so. And look at them now. They suck. They are embarrassing. They are any team not named the Broncos. They are pathetic at this point. I mean, you mentioned the rating by their defensive coordinator stealing $100,000 in jock straps. Guys, what are we doing?
That was
it was equipment.
It was equipment.
Equipment. I'm like, guys, $100,000 in fucking jock straps and helmets. Come on.
What are we doing?
Why do the Bears keep doing this to themselves? And it's like, oh my God, I could rip into them all day, but guys, I'm not going to rip them for losing to the Chiefs and getting embarrassed by the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs, defending champs, whatever. But guys, the defensive coordinator, Justin Fields not knowing how to play football, the play calling, everything. It's just embarrassing. And it's like, I mentioned the Patriots, offenses that make me want to eat a light bulb. This is one of the teams as well. I'm about to buy a whole fucking set at this point.
They thought they were going to make the playoffs, though. They were like, we have a chance to compete with the Lions and the Packers, and then the Vikings will take a step back. It's the first time where there's not a Hall of Fame quarterback in Green Bay. The Lions could be a fluke is what the Bears were saying, and they had the audacity after the coach you have on your team to go after Dan Campbell and Jared Goff. Enough. It's so disrespectful with how they were talking about the Lions, even the Packers and the Vikings on that team. The Vikings are 0-3, lost all their games by 1 possessions. I picked the Cardinals to go 0-17 this year, but that pick may have to go the Bears this year, because how the hell is this team going to scrape together a win if it's not against the Denver Broncos next week?
I don't know. The Cardinals already proved you wrong, and they might actually win a couple games. The Bears, who can you pick them to beat? I can't pick anybody because they can't do anything right. They can't play defense. They can't cover. They can't run the football. They can't do anything. They can't fucking walk and chew gum at the same time.
They can't abide by federal law.